Hey, Rick Bloom here with head varsity baseball coach for girls softball, Scott Polachek. Going to ask a few questions and get some information about the coming season here in 2022. So, Coach, as we know, the spring weather has been pretty unspring-like so far, and you have not had a chance to get out on the field. How do you deal with the frustrations day by day?
Oh, it's frustrating. It is definitely frustrating, especially where we are as a team. We can't get outside to practice. The girls, they get anxious, just like the coaches do. And as coaches, we keep trying to come up with a different plan every day while we're inside, and it gets harder and harder, and the frustration just builds and builds. And it's just something that we try and keep reinforcing with the girls is control what you can control. We can't control the weather. We can't control if somebody's late. We can't control if our bus breaks down. You know, we got to worry about what we can worry about, and unfortunately, weather is the big one. That
having been said, can you give us a report on this year's team, even though you haven't gotten to see them on the field yet?
We have maybe 8, 9 girls that have never played organized softball before, and we'd love to get them outside to really see what they can do. And some of them have progressed pretty fast. And we have a couple veterans that have been around the game for a while that we're going to lean on heavily this year. And thankfully this year our numbers are good enough that with all those girls, we didn't make any cuts. So there are girls that have never played before that are going to be able to play either at the junior varsity level or the varsity level this year.
Coach Polachek, I'm interested in what your coaching style is regarding practice, game prep, and then the actual game itself. Can you tell us a little bit about your style?
I like to keep like an open door with our girls or the boys when I was coaching baseball, that if you need anything or if you need to talk about something, come see me. But when practice time starts, we need to be laser focused. I need an hour and a half of focus from you, maybe 2 hours depending on how long our practice is. And we go through our routine and we'll practice a routine. Our warm-up is the same all the time. We go through our dynamic stretching. We go through a throwing program. We go through a fielding program that I tell them they have to do every day. We have to get our glove work in every day. If we don't get our glove work in, we don't get better outside. We don't throw every day and work on our mechanics while throwing, we're not going to get better. And it's a little tougher this year because we have so many that have never played before, where we have to really break it down for that certain group, and we have to be able to manage the older group and the girls that have been around softball a little bit more to keep them from getting bored while we teach something that they've learned 10, 15 years ago, whatever the case may be.
So you've been a coach for a long time now, and you've coached in different seasons, like, you know, during the school year, during the summer, maybe during the fall. Have you seen any changes in the game itself or the types of players that come to you in a given season?
Yeah, certainly have. Over the last couple of years, we've seen a difference in softball and baseball where there isn't a focus as much on the small ball. Even in softball, where bunting is a big part of the game and defense is a big part of the game, we've seen a trend where we're seeing it in the major leagues, and it's just filtering down. It's all about elevate and celebrate.
The strikeouts
are okay as long as you can hit the ball out of the yard once a game. So we're seeing a difference in that, and we're seeing some of the fundamentals and mechanics kind of go out the window and not being trained at the younger level because of that factor. Because we're looking more at that.
Understandable. What are some of the strengths of this team this year for the Brush Arcs in 2022?
Their chemistry. Man, they get along great. It is one of the best things to see is the way they cheer for each other. They root on each other. They really do get along really well, like every one of them, from 1 through 20. They're as happy as they can be for number 20 if she makes a nice play out there. Number 1 is cheering just as loud as anybody else, so their chemistry is really big. And we have some athletes. We have some girls that are just flat out athletic, and once we teach them how to apply that in softball, I think they'll take off.
That sounds good. That sounds good. On the flip side, what about weaknesses?
Just the fact that we have a lot of girls that haven't played, have never played organized sports, and there's so many things that we can't really show them in practice that they have to learn at game speed or see at game speed. And you know, you love the game as much as I do, and you know, we can say we've seen it all in baseball or softball. Guess what? Tomorrow we're going to see something we've never seen before. So that's hard to teach to girls that have never played the game before. So I would say that would be where our weakness is. But it's also something that we're going to develop and turn into a strength eventually.
Okay. Coach, lastly, I'd like to ask you this question. Every year can potentially be a different type of year.
Yes.
Do you try to have your players in a given year fit the style of play you prefer, or do you take a look at who's out there and say, hey, I'm going to need to change my style to fit this group of players?
I do both. I like to think that I have a little mix of both. There are some things that I want done as a coach and some things that we want to work on as a coaching staff. And then there are some things where we have to adjust and we have to be fluid. I mean, if we don't continue to grow as coaches and grow with the kids that we're coaching, we're not setting ourselves up for the greatest success.
Right.
You know some of the guys I work with and learn from, with Aaron and Austin, guys that are in the major leagues and out there coaching major league ball players right now. Anything I could pick up from them, whether it's not my coaching style or not, but any way I can get better, you know, I'm gonna do that.
Absolutely.
And if we have a team that's all speed and all bunters and 1 through 9, we're gonna play small ball and we're gonna find a way to beat somebody playing small ball. If we had hitters like Clara last year who can put a 3-run home run over the fence, we're gonna play a little bit more conservative on the bases and keep those runners on base so we can hit for power if needed.
Well, good luck getting on the field. Hopefully the Arcs are out there real soon. We'd love to see your support behind them. And Coach, thank you very much. Good luck on the coming season.
Thank you.